everyone. I tend to have a very low speaking voice, so if I should drown out in the crowd, let me know, give me a sign, say, hey, I can't hear you, speak up. I'd appreciate it. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the organizers of Le Talking Tree for inviting our group to come and share with you today something that I feel very close to my heart is very important in today's society, and that is our emotions. I believe that we are comprised of 4 energetic bodies: the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. Often we hear about body, mind, and spirit. Body, we're taught how to take care of ourselves, how to exercise, how to get the proper diet. Thank you. Mentally, we absorb, we learn the beliefs of our parents, the culture, of the environment that we grow up in. And spiritually, often it's a religious-based experience. I feel that lately it's becoming more and more of a all-encompassing, a spiritual experience away from the traditional religious aspects. But we don't hear a lot about emotion. Where do we learn about our emotions and how to effectively manage them and deal with them? I'd like to invite people from the audience to come up and join me in a game of emotional poker. Any volunteers? Greta, would you like to join us? Anybody else like to come up and play some poker with me? Come on up. I have to confess, here's my Roman Catholic background coming in. I have to confess I had to look up how to play poker, but anyway. Anybody else like to join me? One more person. Daniel, come on over. Woohoo, we have our players. All right, as such, I would like to invite the players to envision themselves as newborn infants. You are now embarking on your journey of life. You have everything that you need. You are most connected to your source, God consciousness, God, whatever label you want to call it. You are happy, you are safe, secure, comfortable, and loved. As the dealer, I am God consciousness. I am source. I have worked with you to co-create your life. There are events and situations that are contained within the deck of cards that will be dealt in this hand. I would ask that you leave your cards on the table, but connect to the emotion that you may be feeling when you hear of the situation. And I also invite the audience to play along with us. Okay. Situation 1. A child growing up in a dysfunctional home where their parent is emotionally absent. A child medicated because their parents deem their attention-seeking activities as crazy. A child taking on the responsibilities for a codependent parent. I ask that you leave the cards on the table. Are you connecting with the emotions? You're beginning your journey. As children and minors, our home environment we have so little control over. the impact and the knowledge that our parents have about how to deal with effectively the emotions of themselves trickles down to the children. I invite you to pick up your cards. And notice how you hold your cards close to your chest. You don't show your emotion to society. You keep them buried. You keep them hidden. Look around at the other players around the table. I see some poker faces going on. Our poker face is the mask that we show the people around us who we're in relationship with. Is it safe to really show what I'm feeling? Can I share openly with these people? Is it safe to be me? Notice how far you've come from that essence that you were, the love, the comfort, the safety, the security. I now invite you to discard any cards that you would like to remove. This, please. I'm going to play the hand I was dealt. I'm not going to try to control my environment by making a choice to bury an emotion that relates to that card. Knowing those cards are going to get dealt back into the deck, shuffled back in, they're going to come back. And you're going to have to deal with that emotion at another time. How many would you like? One? Now, these cards, as an adult, you've made a choice. And let me outline the events relating to each of those cards. As an adult, you recognize that you are recreating the experiences that you had as a child, seeking for the love that you felt you never received. As a single parent who begins dating 3 years after separating from the child's husband, father, is raped and chooses not to report it or talk about it for almost 20 years. You're an adult. You recognize that you are codependent. You are in an abusive marriage, and you can't find your way out. Connect with those emotions, how it would feel. Now I invite you to play your cards. Do you feel comfortable? You're going to play your hand out? Are you going to go for the pot? Imagine there's a pot there. We don't play for money. Lay down your cards. Are you folding, Greta, or are you playing? Okay. Okay. No? Lay down your hand. No, flip it. Sorry. Play out your cards. Ooh. Look at that. All right. These are my cards. This is a point of choice. Are we going to play the hand that we're dealt, or are we going to fold? Sometimes the folding point or the choice point, I've heard lately been referred to the period or the semicolon. The choice of whether you want to continue with your life or make different choices. I was at that point in 2007, the end of 2007, 2008. I had recently learned that my husband was having an affair. and my daughter had chosen to move to Nova Scotia. She was in grade 12. The events and situations that I offered to the group, this is my story. This is what I've lived. At that point, at the end of 2007 and 2008, I was faced with making a choice. How am I going to go on? Within myself, I couldn't find the answer. I had lived primarily physically and mentally. I didn't have a strong emotional nor a spiritual grounding. What held me here was I could not make that choice. I felt it was too selfish. I could not do that to my daughter. It was the external held me here. I remember praying, asking for help. Just show me anything at all. I surrendered. I was willing to receive whatever message was meant for me. At that time, I was taking a self-esteem course through Family Services, and on the book list, there was a book called A Return to Love, written by Marianne Williamson. And I thought, okay, that sounds interesting. Love, yeah, I really want some of that. But I started reading it, and the book itself talks about the principles of A Course in Miracles. And I felt such comfort, safety, security, and love. It was the first time I thought, maybe I do deserve to be loved. Maybe I am worthy of being loved. For those around here in the Greater Moncton area, you may know that I had started a study group several years ago for A Course in Miracles. And as such, I was finding myself spiritually. I was getting a spiritual foundation for me. In 2012, I made it my intention that I wanted to be fully authentic in all of my relationships. Very quickly, I started to see certain relationships fall to the side and disappear. I also saw some relationships grow and flourish. I'm happy to say it's primarily it's the relationship that I have with my daughter. My daughter and I feel, have the unconditional love. I love her with all that I have, but yet she knows that she can live her life, learn her lessons, and I won't interfere. By the fall of 2012, Source was showing me where I was not living authentically. At that time, I could not physically speak to my husband. As I was getting healthier, you see, in a codependent relationship, I was claiming my own power. Often what happens is the abuse will become more and more pronounced as the control is attempted to be maintained. By that fall, I couldn't speak. I couldn't vocalize anything with him. We separated later that year, and shortly thereafter, I was introduced to emotional fitness. A big part of A Course in Miracles is that it says it will help us to release the blocks, the awareness of love's presence. I knew what my blocks were, but I didn't have the tools I needed that enabled me to release those blocks. When I went into counseling early in 2013, I was referred to the emotional fitness approach. And there I learned to listen to myself, my inner wisdom. I learned to sit with and get comfortable with the uncomfortable feeling of being in the emotion. It is a journey, and it is necessary for myself to continue to do my work each and every day. As I live in the world, Emotions and triggers come up, but to be aware of it, know what my patterns are. I often will ask myself, how am I feeling? What's going on? And to connect with the emotion, the feeling within me. Emotional fitness has brought such freedom, joy. I can actually feel joy. I really don't know if I ever had before. The moments are fleeting. They are getting longer. I am able to express myself in ways that have been limited. And it's not to say that our parents, our guardians, our caretakers were wrong. It's not to blame them. It's to recognize that without the awareness and without the proper tools, they do the best they can. I did the best I could. We all do. That's why I feel it is so crucial to begin a conversation where emotion is the topic and to be present at the level. Daniel got to experience a little bit of it this past week, and to be present with another person and able to communicate by effectively listening and being there, to allow them the space, the sacred space, to experience what's coming up for them, and then allow them the opportunity to express it. By doing my own work, I'm able to stay out of the way. If I get triggered in a session when I'm with a client, I know to park my emotion and take care of it when I get home, when I get to my journal and do my own work. We've heard the term the unhealed healer. My work goes on every day. And the joy and love and support of the group of people that I have around me is amazing. I want to say thank you, everyone, for giving me this opportunity to share with you.